Welcome back. Great to see so many people here. Oh my goodness, we're in a real event with real people. We're not on a Zoom call. Isn't this awesome? Wow. Okay, my name is Oisín Lunny. It's so good to meet you. It's so good to be back here on the Next Big Thing stage. The last time I was here, it was like a boxing ring. I kid you not. And that is actually a very suitable metaphor for what you are about to witness today. Tens and thousands of startups all over the world aspire to win the South Summit Trophy, the South Summit Awards, and we filter them into thousands and then into a final 100 of finalists, the creme de la creme, to come and meet you all here and present to you today. And speaking of which, we have an amazing front table here of some of the best judges possible from the world of technology, innovation, startups, business, across the board. We're not going to introduce them all, but I would love for you to give them a big round of applause. Please welcome to the stage our amazing judges. Thank you. So, as mentioned, my name's Oisín Lunny. I'm a podcast host and event MC. I would love to connect with you. Let's build the South Summit family. Let's keep the excitement going until next year, because it's so important now that we're back in person, we're back in business, we're back in Madrid, and we're going to make some magic happen. South Summit is all about seeing the future. Today, you are going to meet the future right here, right now. Who are the unicorns and soonicorns of the next year? They could be before you today. Now, the judges have a very difficult decision. They have to condense the pitches that are only 3 minutes long. 3 minutes is a clock here, and when it goes, the time is up. And then they have 2 questions to ask the startups, and at the end of the day, we select one winner from each category. All of the winners go through to our grand finale, and we find the champion of champions tomorrow right here at South Summit. It's going to be so exciting. Okay, are you ready for some startups? Are you listos? Yes, fantastic. So it's such a big deal to get here. They have to go through so much and just be the best of the best. It's a big deal to be here. So everybody who makes it that you're seeing is really a champion already. But the reason I'm saying it is we need you to give them a lot of encouragement. There are thousands of people watching on the live stream, but we need you to make the noise here and now. So with that in mind, we're going to kick off with our first hopeful, and we are in the category of connectivity and data, and we have some fantastic startups. They're absolutely brilliant. Our first pitcher is called Kodobel, and it's a CDN for mobile apps that ensures high engagement by reducing loading times, even in poor wireless conditions. Very interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, for our first pitch, please give a warm, loud South Summit welcome to the CEO of Kodobel, Rui Costa.
Thank you. Hey there, so I'm Rui, I'm the CEO and co-founder at Kodobel. So Kodobel is a CDN for mobile applications. So I'm not sure if I was supposed to see my presentation there, because I have a video for you to see. It's easier to explain what we do. So as end users, we all expect mobile apps to be super fast and provide us a smooth experience, right? So we want to be scrolling down a feed, images loading immediately, videos loading immediately, or when you're buying a product, you don't want to wait for things to load, right? And this is why mobile applications that are faster have better KPIs. So users spend more time in the application, users spend more, users see more ads. In the end, faster apps get better business outcomes. And what is the reality today is actually not perfect as one would expect. So right now, what's happening is the fact that we have all seen an app, image doesn't load, video doesn't start, something doesn't go well with your experience. And for example, today, more than half of the video sessions throughout the world experience from buffering, from a long buffering event. And this is very bad because in the end, this means that mobile applications are still far away from what they can do to maximize their business outcomes. And so this is why we at Kodobel devoted ourselves to build, before that, the problem. So the problem is, what is happening today? So mobile apps are investing a lot in cloud infrastructure, namely in CDNs, to place the content closer to the end users. And the problem is that when you look at what happens when delivering content to a mobile application, 90% of the instability actually happens over the 3G, 4G, Wi-Fi, or even the upcoming 5G link. And this basically means that mobile apps have no control about what's happening in their end users' applications. And the core root for this problem is the fact that we are still today relying on a technology that is more than 30 years old, if I'm not mistaken, and it was designed for a wired world. It's not suited for today's wireless reality. And so, what have we built? We've built a solution, a content delivery solution, specially designed for mobile applications that enables apps to control the user experience end-to-end. So how do we do that? We basically developed a groundbreaking protocol. There we go. A groundbreaking protocol that ensures that the content is delivered to the application, images, videos, whatever, super fast, no matter what's the network condition. So even if the user is on the subway, on a sluggish 3G connection, you'll get a super fast experience. And the beauty of that is that you are able to control the experience and ensure that everything is fast, no matter what's the user device, what's the user connectivity, or where is it located at. And it's super easy to try. 3 lines of code into an existing mobile application, and you're ready to go. So what do you get with Kodobel? So basically, and this is what I wanted to show you, you get fast, smooth experience over any kind of network conditions. So the format is not wrong, but I know those numbers. So it means, on average, 76% more image delivered to a mobile application per second. It means 30% faster content delivery. And in the end, what it means is that with Kodobel, mobile applications get users to spend more time in the application, to convert more, to sell more. In the end, Kodobel ensures a better business outcome to a mobile application.
You got some extra time because my mask was stuck. Round of applause for Kodobel. Thank you. Okay, so if you come here.
Yeah.
Right, fantastic. Yeah, kicking things off. Very, very good. Okay, we've got some time for Q&A. We have a maximum of 2 questions from our fantastic panel of judges around here. Who would like to jump in with a question for Rui and Kodobel? Do we have any questions from our esteemed judges? Yes, if you could introduce yourself in case the folks don't know you yet. Thank you.
Hello, my name is José Antonio Aranda. I am Global Director for Innovation and Product Strategy from Cellnex, the infrastructure provider. So my question is, how are you going to monetize these, and what is the business model behind this?
Sure. So the core technology of what we developed is a software package, right? But in order for us to be able to deliver to the mobile app industry, we had to evolve that. And so right now, it's basically a CDN. So we provide caching servers throughout the world. We today have 71 points of presence. And then you have an SDK that you put into the mobile application. And how do we sell it? It's basically we charge per volume of traffic that you deliver to the mobile app.
Great question. Thank you very much. Yes, and your good self, if you could introduce yourself to the audience. Thank you.
Hi, Anna Volstein, investor at Kaya VC. What is your ideal client? Ideal customer?
My ideal customer is a customer that has, number one, has a mobile app, a native mobile app, global presence, so users spread around the globe, but if you are asking for the ideal, are apps that move a lot of data. So that typically means video or images in a news feed, for example. That's the ideal customer for us.
Perfect, thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm afraid it's only 2 questions. I'm so sorry. We run a tight ship here at South Summit. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Round of applause for Rui. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, as you can see, it's pretty pressurized. Even when I get my mask stuck, you know, they have a lot of information to get into 3 minutes. And, you know, the judges, they're busy writing down notes. They're going to be kind of tracking the whole thing. They judge our finalists based on 5 criteria: innovation, scalability, team viability, and investability. So folks at home, you can play too using those 5 criteria. Will you get it right? Speaking of which, we're going to introduce our next fabulous, fabulous finalist, all the way from France, representing Crowdsec. It's an open source and collaborative EDR positioned in the cybersecurity market with the aim of blocking hacking attempts. Crowdsec allows you to analyze behaviors, respond to attacks, and share signals across the community. Ladies and gents, from Crowdsec, please welcome the CEO, Philippe Humeau, to the stage. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Philippe, and I'm the CEO of Crowdsec. I'm delighted to present at the South Summit. So without further ado, let's jump in. We found out at Crowdsec that those big companies, they all adopted the super soldier stance, meaning they super equipped themselves, but no single soldier could fight against an army. And this is what they are facing, an army, right? So instead of outsmarting hackers, we are trying here to outnumber them. So why are all those companies failing into defending themselves, whatever the budget? Because JP Morgan is $800 million in cybersecurity budget, for example. I don't know about Microsoft, but it's hundreds of millions of dollars. And they still get hacked. Well, they are fighting against impossible forces. The first one is time. You never fight against time because you lose, right? So you never get to choose when you're attacked. You never get to choose when there's a vulnerability at large in the market. And you barely get to choose when you can deploy the patch. Second thing is perimeter. Perimeter changed tremendously over the last 3 decades. So we came from the DMZ where everything was stored into a small walled garden. Now everything is open in like cloud drive, SaaS, container, VMs, plus tons of VPNs that have been spawned during the COVID crisis. And last but not least, money. Money is something you cannot fight against. Hackers are barely spending hundreds of thousands of the budget of those companies to get into breaching. So at Crowdsec, we take it differently. We want to be the Waze of firewall, taking a local information like Waze does. Here it's your logs instead of your speed and position, and deducing something global, that this IP that aggressed you is very likely to aggress others as well, instead of telling you that there's a speed trap ahead. How do we work? Well, we take your logs, chew them, and apply scenarios. Could be your scenarios, could be our scenarios that we design in the labs, or could be the community one, to detect things like credit card stuffing, port scan, web scans, PHP Armageddons, and way more. And then we block those threats. You can remedy them by dropping the packet, sending a CAPTCHA, lowering the rights of the user, or sending a mobile factor authentication. And once you found a bad IP, you share it with the community. Well, we do the curation in between to be sure that it's a real signal, but nevertheless, we share the thing with the whole community. And this is what we're doing. We're burning IPs of hackers one by one, day in, day out, with a crowdsourced approach all together. It's free, it's open source, and it will stay like this forever. You can use it, you can modify it, it's been audited, it's trustable. And we have competition with IPS and IDS, but they are old school in the way they do it, and with CTI, but CTI with a few honeypots, we already have tens of thousands of machines, so it's the biggest CTI ever so far. And we are in 15,000 installations worldwide. 500,000 IPs have been tagged as malicious, and we have users across 100 countries. And we monetize using our API access. That's pretty much it. If you have any question, I'd be delighted to answer.
Fantastic. Merci beaucoup, Philippe, joining us all the way from France. What did our jury think? We have a question for Philippe, if we could get him on the screen. Thank you. So, can Philippe hear the questions? And if you could introduce yourself to our esteemed South Summit colleagues. Thank you.
Hello, Philippe. It's Jaime Gil Delgado from Swan Lab Venture Capital. Here, what you told us basically is that the advantage that you have is that you get all the malware from all your different clients and use all this information against it. And my question here will be, how many clients do you actually need to reach that level of confidency?
Fantastic question. How many clients? Can you hear me?
Yes, you're live. All good.
Cool. Sorry. So I think we will have a serious network as of 10,000 machines. The real opportunity here is like counting in millions. Once we have millions of machines in the world, we'll be able to detect like any threat in real time. We already have currently something like 20,000 machines, and we already have around 1 million IP that we have identified as very dangerous. But with already 20,000 more machines, we probably are the biggest CTI network in the world already, and it's growing by the day by 1-2% per day, depending on the day. So I strongly hope we will be more than 100,000 by the end of the year. So it's really snowballing. It's a network effect for after.
Thank you.
Excellent. Strong question, strong answer. We are going to move straight on. We're only going to have one question per startup now. We changed the rules because that's how we roll. We're dynamic and fast-moving. We're being agile, and we're a little bit behind time because we had some very special guests earlier today. So we're going to move on to our next startup. First, a round of applause for Philippe. That was great. Thank you, Philippe. Merci beaucoup. Fantastic. We have viewers and attendees and delegates and speakers and startups from all over the world. And our next hopeful startup is all the way from the startup nation of Israel. He is joining us virtually. And the company is called L7 Defense. Now, L7 Defense helps organizations to protect their infrastructure, applications, customers, employees, and partners against the growing risk of API-borne attacks. Sounds interesting? I think it will be. This is the creme de la creme joining you here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the virtual stage the co-founder and VP of BizDev at L7 Defense, Yisrael Gross. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Israel Gross, and I'm a co-founder of L7 Defense. I'm very happy to be part of the 100 Top Startups in South Summit event. Looking forward to talk to you today about API and API security. Today, API is becoming the standard of all the internet. More than 87% of all data online is actually working on APIs. APIs, application program interface. You take your mobile phone, you have an app, you touch the app, you open the app, it communicates with API backwards as a server. This is the world where we're now living, but this wasn't here a few years ago. It was less than 50%. It was web servers. Now everyone talks about APIs, new standard for the internet. The pandemic made it even much more enforced, where everything had to be remotely. Me personally, I stopped going to a grocery store because I order everything online. Seeing a doctor remotely and others. So all the companies that had APIs before, had online platforms, did lots of revenues through the pandemic. Whoever was not there had to do this changes and to evaluate into it. Where you have 3 layers of APIs. APIs that communicate to the world, the open and published APIs, where you can communicate, you can connect to it. Then you have in partners APIs, where 2 companies interact with each other and communicate the data through them. And then you have the third one is internal APIs, that's for your own development, your own usage. L7 Defense is looking to secure all data goes inside and outside from your organization to prevent any data leakage or any manipulation of the data, attacks coming in through the APIs. With L7 Defense, it was based on the immune system model. We developed it already in 2015 with my partner who has a PhD in bioinformatics. This technology actually is a plug-and-play system. It learns by itself the whole thing, and then from 1 hour, it's up in production. What we give here, the value we give here is three layers, 360% angle. Discover all the APIs, all the data goes on them, all the risk, detect any change, any attack coming on it, and of course, defend and block it. With L7 Defense, we take the responsibility to secure all results with APIs. L7 Defense team has a global team. We have customers worldwide. The largest telcos in the world are using L7 Defense and more customers. I'm calling you from here. L7 Defense is looking forward to partner with you, organizations, with you, many good startups here. If you want to secure your data, if you want to secure your organization's APIs, please contact us. Thank you very much. Thank you, South Summit.
Fantastic. Another strong presentation there. Plug and play API security. Wow, but what did our judges think? Has any of our judges got a question for Yisrael? Who would like to put their hands up? Which judges have a question? Or maybe that was the perfect pitch and he answered all of the questions already. There's nothing more to ask. My goodness. Wow. Okay, so I think a round of applause for Yisrael for basically answering all of the judges' questions in his presentation. Very, very thorough. Thank you so much, Israel. Congratulations. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on with our next virtual startup who's competing in the field of connectivity, and such a prestigious prize here. We're going to meet Contact, who are the fast-growing IT company that develop intuitive and user-friendly self-service solutions for technical customer service. I used to work in customer service in a call center. Oh my goodness, it's not an easy job. They have my sympathies and my empathy there. So we are now going to meet the CEO of Contact, who is joining us all the way from Germany. Please welcome to our virtual stage, Dr. Michael Fath. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Michael, CEO and co-founder of Contact, the self-service company. We solve a problem all of you know. Picture yourself on a Sunday evening watching Netflix and suddenly the video stops working. What do you do when your internet connection or your Wi-Fi stops working? Can you fix the problem yourself or do you have to call for help? Customers normally don't care for what the problem is. They just want to have it fixed. And most of you know that calling your internet service provider for help can be very frustrating. There might be hotline queues, or for many people, explaining a problem over the phone is not very easy. For your internet provider, this is very expensive because fixing internet problems over the phone takes a long time and actually they have thousands of calls per month. With our Contact self-service solution, we fix this problem by providing a fast analysis of problems for all customers. We use lots of complex methods and measurements in our process, but we try to hide all of that from the customer. We have a very high focus on user experience and UI so that everyone can use our solution. Our goal is to provide self-help in a very interactive way. This is our white label app for Telefonica Germany, which we released after our acceleration with Vira. Today, this app is used by millions of customers. As you can see, it automatically analyzes if there's anything wrong on your smartphone, your Wi-Fi, your router, or the internet connection itself. If it finds anything, it will directly jump into problem solving and give you the steps necessary to resolve the situation. We have a large library of guides for all phone UIs out there, so you always see exactly the interface of your phone, no matter if it's an Android or an iOS. We also allow customers to use their smartphone's camera for the first-time setup of new internet connection. Through intelligent image processing, we detect all necessary data and can show guides for the exact combination of smartphone, router, and other hardware you might have in your home network. This way, you don't see generic guides, but exactly what you need in your situation. With our solution, our customers can reduce their technical calls by up to 25% and shorten their calls by up to 70%. We are very proud that our apps are the best rated self-service apps in the German app stores with 4.8 out of 5 stars. Our customers, for example Telefonica Germany or Vodafone Germany, are very happy with our solution and we are at the moment expanding into other countries in Europe. But we are also looking into other use cases because our solution can be easily adapted for other industries so that Contact can finally become the self-service company for all kinds of situations. Thank you.
Wonderful. Dankeschön, Michael. That was fantastic. Okay, I used to actually work in tech support at an internet service provider. I can absolutely echo the amount of complicated stuff you need to know. That sounds very interesting. Do any of our judges have a question for the good doctor? Or was, yes, okay, and your good self. We only have one question now because we're a little bit behind time. If you could introduce yourself to the room, that would be fantastic when we get the mic over. Thank you so much.
Hello. Well, thank you for the presentation, very interesting. I was wondering if you could let us know a little bit about which customers are you already working with, and if you have any specific success case that you could share with us. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Thank you for your question. So in Germany, we actually work with Telefonica Germany with their brand O2, and we also work with Vodafone here in Germany. So it's the typical telco customers we have. And of course, we are at the moment looking into other countries to get into contact with other telcos.
Great answer. Thank you so much. And we're going to just say thank you to Dr. Michael Fath from Contact. Wonderful, from Contact. Thank you so much. Folks, just a quick announcement. Remember to share your thoughts using the hashtag SouthSummit21. We were trending today on Twitter. We may still be trending on Twitter. You're welcome to contribute and help build the buzz about South Summit. So now we're going to move to an in-person presentation with a real-life entrepreneur who's joining us all all the way from Italy. Now, Contents is a tech company that has developed an artificial intelligence platform for data analysis and content creation by using machine learning. And it's a great pleasure to introduce the CMO of Contents. Please welcome to the stage, Alessia Vangi. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Massi, and I'm the CEO and founder of Contents. In Contents, we have a vision, a world without any communication barrier. We want to help companies globally to communicate better in an effective way. For this, we use artificial intelligence, and please meet Alessia, our Chief of Communication.
Hi. Content is king is not only a great sentence. It's the only way for your business to communicate your culture and your vision. That's why we created Contents, a platform based on artificial intelligence to create content and analyze data. Today, it is impossible for all business to communicate globally in a data-driven way and with an effective cost. If you have a blog, e-commerce, a magazine, you probably wonder, what is the best storytelling I can use for my business? How can I sell more? If you need a good content strategy, you need time, budget. A lot of people work on it. So we want to solve this problem through our platform based on AI. Using Contents, you can create every kind of content. For example, product descriptions for inside commerce, blog and magazine articles, press reviews in every language, and with just one click, using the NLG system. Let me explain how it works, the technology behind the platform. We do data collection in order to make predictions about trends and topics, and we use the machine learning to reduce the human intervention in the content creation. We have a B2B business model. We are working with a big corporation and with a small, medium enterprise through partner channels, such as the media center. The opportunity is huge. In a market worth $500 billion, there is no currently a market leader. Contents wants to be the #1 world provider of content creation and distribution. We are based on the subscription model, and this is our traction. Using the natural language generation, we can produce 50,000 texts per month. We are scalable, international, and the expected turnover for this year will be $5 million. This is our incredible team. Massimiliano Squillace did 5 exits, one of them about digital publishing. And we have an international team from all over the world, Italy, France, Spain, and the United States. Since our foundation, we have raised $9 million from famous investors. And now we create content for global companies like Microsoft and Yahoo, and more others. We want to stop there. We want to open a new round of fundraising in 2022 in USA. This is our mission: communicate better to achieve more. Thank you.
Thanks.
Grazie mille, Alessia Vangi and Massimo Spillace. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Wow, that came in at exactly 3 minutes. You can't see the timer here, but that was very impressive. Obviously, practice this. It is a $5 billion market. But what did our judges think? Any questions? Your good self. If you could introduce yourself again, just if people are tuning in. Yes, do we have a microphone? Thank you so much. Oh, if we could...
Okay.
Hi.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Anna Volstein, investor at Kaya VC. So you mentioned that quantity is not a problem. You're scalable. What about the quality of the texts you're producing?
Yes, the quality is certified by a proofreader system. So we can create this content, but we have also a platform with thousands of content creators and proofreaders and translators from all over the world to reach this goal, to reach the perfect quality of this content.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Nice,
you.
fantastic. And we are going to move swiftly on, but please first give a big round of applause to Alessia and Massimo. Fantastic, very good. Grazie mille. Wonderful, wonderful. And it's always appreciated. You know, people can't always join from where they are, so many of our guests are virtual, but it's great to have this hybrid mix. And speaking of which, we are going to move swiftly on and meet our next finalist in the category. The company is called Internext without an E, and it's a blockchain-based alternative to Google Drive and Dropbox, and uses innovation as a way to ensure that files remain private to the end user, protecting their users' privacy conflicts with their business model itself. Absolutely fascinating. Okay, so we're going to welcome to our virtual stage the CEO of Internext, joining us from Spain. Please give a round of applause, a warm welcome to Fran Villalba Seguera from Internext. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Fran, and I'm the founder and CEO of Internext. So here at Internext, we're essentially creating a series of internet services that strive to compete with those of Google, Amazon, Facebook, etc. We've seen that essentially these huge tech giants are in reality data mining companies, and the services they provide are a means to an end instead of an end per se. Whereas the services we are trying to provide are an end per se, unlike those of Google, etc. These companies, very often get hacked. They leak your data to governments, or they sell it. A huge part of Google's or Microsoft's revenues come from advertising. So, essentially, they don't really care about the user, and that's what we're trying to solve on the internet. This is a rising concern both for individuals and businesses. So we thought it was something very, very important for us to tackle. The solution, well, we are creating a wide range of internet services, as I said, that are trying to compete with those of Google, for example, with the G Suite of Google, for instance. The first service is Internext Drive. We launched it last year after 3 years of development. Essentially, it's a unique, kind of cloud storage service because of the technology it uses to ensure that all your data remains private and secure. Essentially, how it works is, unlike traditional services, we client-side encrypt data and we fragment it, and we distribute that data all over the world using centralized technology. So essentially, servers host or hold encrypted data shards. So it's virtually impossible for hackers or companies or ourselves or governments to have access to your data. So this is the first of many services on our portfolio that we're creating as well. We're about to launch Internext Photos, Internext Send, Internext Mail, etc. All leveraging these hugely unique technology. The cloud storage market, however, is it's a fast-growing market. It's growing at 20% year over year, and we're trying to differentiate from these competitors, as I said, by providing a more secure, more private alternative to what they're providing. They're very rigid in what they can and they can't do. They're publicly listed companies where most of their revenue is coming from data and advertising. So we are much faster than them at embracing this huge trend, this huge privacy trend. Most of my experience comes from cloud storage. I worked for 5 years in a cloud company called Hostinger before I started Internext. And our team, they're all passionate, young people, but also very knowledgeable people that we've selected and they've joined our team. We're growing our team as well. We expect to be 50 people next year. We've got a freemium subscription business model. We've got a 3% conversion rate from free to paid, and we're growing at a 30% month over month. And then in terms of financials, we will be generating 1 million euros in revenues this year in just 1 year of basically functioning. Next year, we expect to generate around 5 million euros in revenues. And we've also just closed a 1 million euro seed round where we got Miami VC, the Venture City, and Angels Capital, which is a huge VC fund from Juan Roche, one of the biggest, richest people here in Spain. So we're very happy with that, and that will help us grow even faster. Thank you.
Thank you, Fran Villalba from Internext. Very, very interesting presentation. 20% growth to cloud storage year on year. But do our judges think that Internext is going to be a part of this? Do you have any questions? Is there anything else you'd like to know from Fran? There he is joining us live by the magic of technology. Yes, your good self. If you could introduce yourself to the room. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you for the presentation. Emily, investor for Elia. You're directly competing with GAFAs and tech giants. So how do you ensure your company stays at the forefront in terms of product, technology, and also team? Thank you so much.
Right. Yes. So can you hear me?
Yes, you're all good. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, so we're competing with as I said, huge tech giants like Google, Microsoft, etc. But we've got a huge competitive advantage when competing with them because they're essentially all data mining companies, and they're publicly listed companies that are making most of their revenues from data, and they need to hugely rely on that. And we're faster than them in terms of applying privacy in a way that makes sense for the user, because we don't rely on that data to make our business model. So that's basically how we're growing. We're growing really, really fast, and we're getting a lot of traction, and we're seeing a lot of applications like Internext Drive in other verticals like Signal Messenger. Yesterday, it was huge specifically because of Facebook and all that. But I think that open source, privacy respectful, privacy-minded applications make a lot of sense, and they're growing fast.
Great question. Thank you so much. And that's all we have time for. One more time, a big round of applause for Fran Vialba from Internext. Thank you, Fran. That's an interesting point you raised, competing against GAFA. Interesting answer. Is privacy a new luxury good? If the product is free, we are the product. So will people pay a bit extra not to be the product? It remains to be seen. Okay, a difficult decision already. I don't envy you, but I know exactly why you're here. So we are going to move on to our next fantastic finalist. They are EPification, if I pronounced that right. Now, they are a highly secure, credentialless, network-based authentication solution for frictionless user experience. So important. They are building a backbone for mobile authentication for a passwordless future. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us all the way from Hong Kong, please welcome to the stage the CEO of EPification, Stefan Kostic. Thank you.
Hello everybody, delighted to be here. I'm Stefan, I'm the CEO of EPification, company that revolutionized the way of how we authenticate our mobile devices. We are all familiar with SMS one-time codes problems. They do not arrive always, they interrupt the user experience, but most importantly, they are insecure and prone to SIM swap attacks and many other security loopholes because SMS was never intended to be used for this purpose. Good news is that we have already started commercializing the alternative solution called EPification and achieved great revenues this year, but way bigger expansion is expected in the years to come. So what's the magic trick of multiplying our revenues 50 times in such a short period of time? First of all, a very solid telecom networks footprint that we've established in the last 3.5 years of hard work. There are 33 telecom operators live in 18 markets covering over 500 million of mobile subscribers. And that's just the beginning. Secondly, we have signed partnership with already entrenched market players, whether they are platform providers, A2P SMS aggregators, payment aggregators, etc., who are using our technology to satisfy their customers' mobile authentication needs. Third and foremost, our telecom-based mobile authentication solution is unique. It represents a super strong possession factor verification, and it's the only market solution that is able to verify 3 most important network elements: SIM card, device, and phone number in a single click based on the user's IP address. All the other solutions that depends on SMS or header enrichment technology are already crippled, and unfortunately they have a shelf life. You can see how it looks like from the user experience point of view in one ride-hailing company in Europe. So user is inputting the phone number and just click verify. There's no need for SMS, no need for voice call, phone number, but also SIM card and the device has been seamlessly verified in the background. EPification will become the norm, which is important not only for us as a company, but for the entire digital ecosystem. As you can see here, our efforts have been already recognized by some of the leading awards in the space. We have assembled a highly experienced international team that all share the same vision that next generation mobile authentication must be secure, it must be frictionless, and it must protect the end user data and privacy. So please join us to make this vision a reality and revolutionize the authentication space together. Thanks a lot for your attention and welcome to your questions.
Wonderful. EPification, what a brilliant idea. Okay, and now we are going to welcome Stefan to our virtual screen here, and we're going to cast Stefan open to the judges. Do we have any questions? Anything more you need to know about this authentication? Wonderful. If we could get the microphone over here, thank you so much. And Stefan is ready. Great to see Cinch on the deck there. Fabulous company. And if you could introduce yourself, thank you very much.
Hi, Stefan. Thank you for the presentation.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, all good.
Perfect. My name is Carlos Martinez. I am Director for Solutions and Services in Telefónica Tech. And as you probably are aware, the GSMA already standardized some APIs for mobile authentication, and most, or some operators at least, are already using them successfully. I wanted to understand what's your competitive advantage compared to these standard APIs. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the question. I guess you're referring to Mobile Connect initiative that started maybe 5-6 years ago. But unfortunately, due to many different things, at least with most of the telecoms we are working with, it haven't lived up to the full monetization. And the main issue and challenge what we've seen is basically there's no any technical improvements in terms of the existing flows that the telecoms were offering. You know, the whole Mobile Connect initiative was mostly relying on the SMS OTPs and header enrichment technology, which has been there for 20 years. So even the operators who integrated the Mobile Connect, they're still working with us and integrating our GMID box to enhance even their existing Mobile Connect gateways to improve the authentication layer of the existing landscape there. And we are working closely with GSMA, and we've been with Mobile Connect team from the get-go. So yeah, looking forward to enhance the current capabilities for those telecoms who jumped on these early initiatives as well.
Thank you.
Great question. And you see there not only why our finalists are here, but also why our judges are here. They are real subject matter experts. They're asking the tough questions that you only know if you're deep in that industry. And very well answered. Thank you so much. So ladies and gentlemen, one more time, big round of applause for Stefan from EPification. Thank you. Okay, and we're going to have one more virtual picture joining us all the way from the UK. Risk Ledger provides the tools you need to run a comprehensive security-led third-party risk management program against your entire supply chain. This is getting more and more important. Their mission is to improve the security of the global supply chain ecosystem. And we're going to hear some more about that when we welcome to the stage the head of marketing at Risk Ledger. Please welcome Ashley Mitchell.
Hello. Today, I want to tell you about our mission at Risk Ledger to improve trust and security in the supply chain ecosystem so that living, working, and playing online is safer for us all. Risk Ledger was founded because traditional security risk management methods for the supply chain are not up to the task of reducing cybersecurity attacks caused by compromised third parties. Over 60% of organizations have experienced a cyber incident caused by a third-party supplier. It's such a big problem that all recent data protection and cyber resilience regulations have included specific obligations for organizations to actively manage supply chain security risks, particularly for critical national infrastructure organizations. Supply chains are getting larger and more complex, so it's a growing problem, especially for large enterprises who can have thousands of suppliers. Traditional methods for managing the supply chain suffer from two key drawbacks. First, they are slow and costly for all parties involved, so they're not scalable beyond a small percentage of the supply chain. And they're not easy to implement for those organizations who don't have the largest security budgets. Secondly, they are not effective at reducing the risk or number of supply chain attacks. Over time, they act more as a paper shield. The Risk Ledger platform enables organizations of all sizes to run a comprehensive, security-led, third-party risk management program across their entire supply chain, while cutting the time and cost per supplier by up to 80% compared to traditional programs. We have redefined the process by moving away from traditional point-in-time assessments to a continuous monitoring model, allowing organizations to quickly identify, measure, and mitigate risks by gaining a continuous visibility of risk controls implemented by their third parties, as well as fourth, fifth, and sixth parties. Our platform operates like a network, providing the data pipe for clients and suppliers to share risk data. Clients can connect with all their suppliers in one place, while suppliers are able to share a single risk control profile with multiple clients to reduce their burden of work in a do once, use many model. This risk control profile aligns with the ISO standard on supply chain management and the NIST framework, and it was developed with the support of the UK's National Cybersecurity Centre. Every time a supplier connects with a new client, their risk control profile is reviewed again, creating a continuous commercial incentive for suppliers to maintain and improve their risk management regime over time. As the platform matures, clients will be able to actively detect and protect themselves from live supply chain threats using the world's first B2B secure social network. We deliver value for information security, compliance, and procurement teams within an organization and make it easier for them to collaborate with each other on their third-party risk management program. That's why we're already trusted by the major names that you can see on the screen, and the more than 1,200 suppliers who are already on the platform include these big names. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to your questions.
Wonderful. As with all of our finalists, a very comprehensive, very well put together pitch deck that they've gone through many times. But what did our judges think? Do we have any supply chain experts in the house with a searching question for Ashley? I'm going to say going once. He might have answered all the questions, in which case it's cool. Going twice. No questions for Ashley. Ashley, congratulations. You've made a fantastic pitch that everyone totally understands, and you answered all the questions. So it just remains me to say thank you so much for joining us, Ashley. And congratulations. Thank you. Brilliant. Just a reminder, if you're impressed with any of the startups, share your thoughts on social media using the hashtag SouthSummit21. Let's keep it trending. Okay, oh my goodness, time flies when you're having fun. This is the last pitch, just to add to our judges' list of things to figure out and marks to give. We are now going to meet a wonderful startup from Spain called Internext Solutions. And Cartos by Internext is a service capable of identifying ongoing attacks, capable of finding leaks and vulnerabilities already available on a network. It sounds very, very impressive indeed. So let's please welcome to the stage right here at South Summit in Madrid, the CEO of Internext Solutions, Maria Isabel Rocco Rivas. Thank you.
We are at war. We are a cyber war, and we are losing. For more than 12 years, I have been working in a big, enormous companies, and I have witnessed how they invest an insane amount of money hiring the best specialists and buying the best cybersecurity solutions. Oh, sorry. And yet, we are still vulnerable and accessible. What's more, we realized it when it turned into a big issue of a pure chance. Good morning, everyone. Today I'm here to tell you how in Internext we are seeing how the cybercrime is turning into a big and lucrative profession, reaching market heights that outperform sectors as old as lucrative as drug trafficking. And what we do? We do Cartos, the Eye of Sauron of the network. Like in the Lord of the Rings, we see and hear everything. Okay. Internet, deep web, and dark web continues monitored by an army of robots that are working continuously, automated, and in a scalable way. Thanks to the artificial intelligence, return the results. Sorry. All the companies that have some resources connected to the network need Cartos, but we are especially strong in these 4 verticals. Hospitals, when we have clients like the Brooklyn Hospital. Food, when we have clients like Bodegas Matarromera, one of the most important wineries in Spain. Public sector, when we have some city councils. And insurance. Our clients come to us willing to secure their main company, but soon they just ask about how to secure their subsidiaries, their suppliers, their clients, all the supply chain. In some cases, they want to see their competitors, because Cartos is the best solution to ensure all the third parties looking information in places where it simply should not be. Okay. This year, 2021, we were selected for the Cybersecurity Acceleration Program of INCIBE, and we was awarded by ENISA. However, none of this could be possible without this extraordinary team. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are here looking for business partners and investors. We invite you to visit us and see for free the security status of your company and take a step forward to defend yourself in this cyber war. Thank you. The question, sorry. Sorry.
Thank you, good. Wow, great presentation there, and a nice shout out to your wonderful team as well. I like that very much. What a nice way to round off. Do we have any questions about NTech, about the award that they got there, about their work in cybersecurity? She opened up the presentation and said, "We are at war." Do we have any questions about the war? Yes, if we could introduce yourself one more time, that'd be great. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for the pitch, very interesting. I was wondering, I have seen in one of the slides, well, by the way, I'm Ivan Feito from Axon Partners Group, that I didn't introduce myself before, sorry. So I have seen in one of the slides that you mentioned also that you track companies on the dark web. Do you do that, and how, well, I mean,
company, sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, no, that I saw that in one of the slides you mentioned also that you were able to track your customers on the dark web, I mean on Tor and so on.
We look for sensitive information in the 3 layers: Internet, the web, and dark web. There are a lot of information about the companies in the dark web that it could mean a security issue for them.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Fantastic. Okay, that's some technology and a team that you want on your side. Thank you so much. One more time.